Hello, welcome to the Crafty Maven Getaway podcast. I'm your host, Anna.
And I'm Megan. Thanks so much for joining us today. And we are on episode 28.
Yes, I know. Season 2. We're starting
Yes.
the new year. So we thought today we talk about how things are going with our New Year's plans and some things that we are thinking and wanting to do throughout this year that might be a little bit different as some things the same. So we just thought we kind of chit chat a little bit more about that New Year's process and like how that's
Yeah.
going. Um, yeah. So
Yeah.
how has your week been before we all get all crappy?
This, yeah, this week has been a little bit, I don't know. I feel like this year's just been crazy. Like it's been weird.
It has been.
Busy and like lots of kids stuff happening and just weird. I don't know.
I know. It's weird, like the state of just our country, politics,
Well, yes.
has
And
changed
that too.
the tone of just even the people around you, whether, you know,
Right.
certain people perceive things different ways. So it's just changes.
Right.
I feel like that's some of it, just, that weight of it
Yeah.
affects other people. Maybe because I think for me, a lot of it is maybe it doesn't all affect me all at once, but it affects other people around you. So it's like you got to be
Yeah.
present in there and just anyway, it's
Yeah.
a lot sometimes.
That is true.
Right?
Well, and that is true because like I found this week I was like at work and it's been a really really slow week at work this week. I don't know why, but so I was finding myself like doom scrolling at work and it
Oh,
just kind of got really overwhelming. And I at one point just was like, okay, I have to stop. Like I can't do this anymore.
yeah.
It does it really like and I didn't even really notice it at first, but then I was like, why am I so depressed? And then I was like,
Yeah.
oh, like, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, in the
it's
good
sad.
old Google or whatever, the a
Right.
whole system
Yes. I
really
know.
like to feed us like the
All the bad
all
stuff.
the stuff. So all the stuff that gets you in that echo chamber or like the opposite, you and so it just really knows how to get to you. I feel like
Right.
that's like the whole goal of it is to get to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why I know a few years ago I really made the conscious like decision to like be on my phone less and
Mhm.
be careful about what I'm looking at and how long I'm looking at it. And that has been really helpful for me, especially like with the pandemic. We all had a hard time, and I feel like this is similar but different. And so,
Right.
because I kind of learned how to do that a couple of years ago, it's been a little bit easier. But there's still times where it's like the system, like I said, feeds you all this stuff that makes you
Yeah.
afraid, whatever. And it's just sometimes it feels like it's intentional. Got my
Yeah.
hat going on here. But anyway. Well, and then that affects even just like how your body handles things. I know I'm not sick because of all the stuff going on in the world. Don't get me wrong there.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
my body is like going through stuff. But that on top of all of that other stuff, it's just like that one extra way.
Mhm.
I've had a lot of like doctor's appointments and all that kind of flare
Yeah.
stuff. And so it's just kind of interesting with making the decisions to change things a little bit up in my craft room. I'm having to also change and rethink how I'm thinking about how my plan needs to go based off of how I'm feeling, if that makes sense. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, that makes total sense. Well, and that's something like, because one of my goals this year or intentions was to be more present for my creative side on a
mhm,
weekly basis. And just because of life, I haven't been doing that. And we're like 3 weeks into the year. And so
yeah,
I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm already failing. Like even
mhm,
though I was like, I am going to give myself grace this year and I am not going to be frustrated. Of course, I'm
yeah,
still frustrated, like
mhm,
it's just inevitable because I want that crafty time, but it's just it's really heavy sometimes, and you
Mm-hmm.
just can't get into that mind space. And it's a lot easier to just sit and veg.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I'm okay with it, but at the same time, like I really want to create, So it's
Yeah.
just kind of like it's sad, I guess, maybe more than frustrating, because
Mm-hmm.
I love creating and I want to
Yeah.
create. But it's just you get home and it's winter time too, so it's dark by the time I get home from work.
Dark. There's hardly any sun.
Yeah, it's like, okay, now we just get ready for bed and just
Yep.
chill. Like that's what it feels like when you get home. So
Yeah.
it's hard to just like enjoy that creative time. Not really like enjoy it, but to make
Yeah.
it happen,
Well,
I
and get the
guess.
most out of it, right? Because
Yeah.
I completely agree with what you're saying, and I feel like the problem is it's almost like foreplay, right? We need crafty foreplay to help get us there.
Oh my gosh, yes, that is a
Like that's
very
the
good
only
way
thing
to
that
put
can
it.
put come to that. It's like sometimes we can't just start
Yes.
the motor and get going, but it's like that in the craft room too, right? So
Right.
it's like you have to prepare your heart, your brain emotionally, and your mind creatively. You just have to prepare
Yeah.
to get there. So it's you can't go straight from work to that, or from
Yeah.
doing chores and yelling at the kids to do it. You got to kind of get there so that when you get in your room, you're the most productive. You set yourself up to get the most out of it and experience it in the way that you need to. Otherwise, I know, at least for me, it takes me all that time to get there.
Oh,
But then
right.
most of my time, like going, okay, what the heck do I need to do? That's my problem this year, is that I'm like, I'm so tired that by the time I get to my room, I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't do this, this, and this. And then I spend most of that time doing it. And then I'm like, oh man, I'm tired now. I used all that energy to do these other things. So that's my goal for this next week and the week after, is to really try to get as much of that pre stuff done while I'm relaxing. Like when I get up and on the days that I don't have to work, I try to get up in my room after I get some stuff done, and like do things on a intermittent type of thing. Like I'll do some work, craft, do some work. That way, when I'm getting up and down, I'm not just sitting for long periods of
Yeah,
time, right?
that's a good
Even
idea.
though I love to just get things done all the way through. That's how I used to do it. I loved it, but it doesn't work for me now. My brain doesn't, I
Right.
can't focus that long. Thank you, ADHD, right?
Yep.
Or the perimenopause, or I don't know.
Yeah.
I just can't sit that long, and I don't have that ability to just be able to come in and be that productive. And I think some of it is I'm not working every day either. It's not like before, when I was on
Yeah.
3 years ago, when I had the time to do that. I had the time to sit
Right.
in certain times during the day, and then at night I had all night. But now, my relationship is a lot different, and I spend different days doing things. So I have to share my time, which is fine, because
Yeah.
it takes that planning. So I'm not sitting in my room for 2 hours getting all my pictures printed off, getting other things printed off or cut that I wanted to do. Like I spent one day almost a whole bunch of hours doing the silhouette and cutting up a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
So then I'm having to reprint things, and like I spent a lot of time doing that.
Yeah. Do you
Okay.
have it all figured out now, though? Like,
No, I still have one
oh,
other thing that I got to figure out, because so the great thing about I have the new silhouette, the Cameo 5 Alpha, and so it's way more tech savvy. So basically it uses I'm assuming some kind of AI feature that reads your file that you bring in, so it can figure out how to cut it, which is really great because now you don't need the print and cut things necessarily.
Yeah.
Except for
Okay.
some of the files that I have, the words are the letter, right? All the letters are separate enough that it wants to cut out into each letter, not as a chunk.
Oh.
And then like the rainbows, it wanted to do them each, like the arch part of the rainbow, right? I wanted to do those separate. So, and I'm trying to figure out how I need to turn that feature off so I can pick where I want it to go. And I haven't been able to figure out how to bring in the print and cut file in there at the same time as the other one. You used to be able to bring the two in, and for whatever reason, it's not done the same way as it was. So I just need to rewatch some videos on other people doing it and using the newer model, because one of the videos that I watched was an older video, so it was a different software was lower. So
I see.
It's just been a long time since I've used my Silhouette, and there are some times where I forgot how slow and like sensitive it can be, though, when you move in and you're trying to like suck it down and everything.
Yeah. So
I've been frustrated and happy all at the same time with because it's really cool, because it does like do the print and cuts pretty well. Just there's a couple of ones that I had that I was like, oh, I wish I could take this off, and because it just does it no matter how you want to put it in there. So
I see.
You can't take it off, or I haven't figured out how to take it off.
Yeah.
Be away. I don't want it to always be on there.
Right.
Gotta love the smart features.
Oh yeah. Love and hate
Wait,
them.
you're too smart for the feature, Well, and that's the thing, is they're trying to make it more user friendly for like really simple people. And then I realized I used to say, oh, I don't know that much about this stuff, and then I realized, well, I obviously do know more about this stuff because this is like simple.
Yeah.
And you're not wanting me to do it on my own.
Right. I know.
But anyway.
We got used to that, having to figure it out and do it on our own.
Yeah. Okay, so what have you been trying to do differently this year so far, and how is that going? I'm trying to remember everything that you told me. I know things, but yeah.
I know that you said you were going to be doing Project Life this year.
Yeah.
And there was like way back in, what was it, like 2018 or 2019, something, or maybe it was during COVID. I don't remember, but I think I tried to do like 6x8 albums.
Oh yeah, I think I remember.
Yeah. Might have even been 2021. I don't even remember.
I think it was around 2021.
I think it was after COVID.
But not very long after.
Yeah, not very long after. And I liked that for like, I think I did it for like the first 3 months, and I really liked it, but it was hard to keep up with for the whole year. Like, I don't think I finished that year, the 2021 year. So I was thinking about how you were saying you're just going to do like the 12x12 Project Life, right? Well, and I used to scrapbook where I would just add in Project Life pages, and I would just use those. So I think I'm going to start doing that again, not like just only doing Project Life, but I think I want to start scrapbooking, like editing photos on a weekly basis and then printing them off, because I have my printer. And so on nights where it's like it's just too hard to like get up and actually be creative, I think what I'm gonna do is just sit and watch TV with my wife or whatever, and just edit photos, or if we're watching a movie, edit photos or something. And then over the weekend, I think I'll print off photos that were edited for the week. And hopefully that will kind of help me get into the mood more to scrapbook more.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the hardest part right now, is that I'm not editing photos really that much. I'm printing as I need them.
Yeah.
And then, like, if I don't have photos printed, I talk myself out of scrapbooking.
Well, because you do what I do, and you spend
Yes,
3 hours
exactly.
printing photos,
Yes.
and by the time you printed the photos, you're too exhausted or
Yep.
you're tired, and yeah, you talk
Yeah.
yourself out of getting something done because you're like, well, at least I did this.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
how I think. I'm like, oh, well, at least I printed off the photos. At least I printed off, 15 pages of printable stuff that I can cut up to use in my scrapbooking.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I'm mad at myself at the end of the
Yep.
day or irritated, I should say, because I'm like, man, I had all day. Well, not all day, but I had a lot of the day.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, Hannah, you slept till noon because you're tired. And that's the other frustrating part is it is fitting in how I feel with what has to happen around the house. Because there's certain things that I have to get done. And so, and I know I only have limited amount of time. And the days, like, especially here where it's so dark, like you were saying, it's like I don't feel like getting as much done and being as productive. But it's wintertime and we don't have a lot of sun here. Today there was sun, so that was nice. Got a little bit done.
That is nice.
But it still takes me a lot longer to get other things done, so it's just frustrating. But anyway, with your printing process, have you figured out a way that works that you really like, or are you still tweaking that?
Yes, I really like, because my printer can print on the big 13x9 papers, and so I like putting my photos on the big in Photoshop. I'll just edit everything, or if I edit on my phone and then I transfer to my computer, and then I put them in Photoshop, and I can do, I think it's like, the last time I printed, I think I did maybe six 4x6s, and then like I think 4 3x4s on one page, which I was like, that's a lot. So I think I really like that. And the paper that I have for the 13x9s, I think is my favorite paper. Okay. And so I've been printing on that, and I'm probably going to run out. I think I've got like 50 sheets left. But I'm like, well, 50 sheets is a lot. If I can just print that much on there,
oh yeah,
then I could probably make it a few months printing. And I still have quite a bit of ink left too. So
I know in mine, I should probably refill it because I think they're about halfway. But I've not had to go out and buy ink since I bought my printer. Now, granted, we bought like a separate thing because I think the amount that they give you when you buy it is a smaller amount, if I'm not mistaken. So we bought like an extra one, and that's the only. So
yeah, I think I got an extra one too
since I bought it.
Yeah. Which one do you have?
I have the Canon. Hold on, let me look because I always forget.
Oh, you got a new one, didn't you? Did you get a new one?
A while.
Because you used to have an Epson, didn't you?
Oh no, I do have an Epson. You're
okay.
Right.
I was like, wait a minute.
I had a Canon before I had the Epson. That's why.
Yes. Okay.
Using it. Yeah, it's an Epson 27 something, I think.
Okay, that's one that I looked at.
I think it's basically the smaller version of what you have.
Yeah, it's the same thing as what I have. Yeah, and it's like the tank of ink, right? Like you just pour the ink in it.
Yeah, it's the bottles.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's the 2850 is what it is.
Okay.
So I was close. Yeah, I had a Canon before, because that's what I was using.
Canon's pretty good too, but I really like the Epson for
It
like
was,
scrapbooking.
yeah.
I feel like it's a lot easier.
The only thing I'm not a big fan of is the colors aren't always as consistent as other
Yeah.
printers. I've had other printers that the HP printers actually work pretty good. I like those. I've used quite a few of the HP, and I always get consistently good photos. This one also, I don't feel like I get consistently good photos actually. So maybe it's from HP,
Yeah.
but I found that if I stick to the Epson papers and stuff like the photo paper and stuff, I feel like it turns out better. But
Yeah.
it's probably also the model that I have.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I've been trying to print off every week. Well, I'm still not done with the December daily, so I'm not done with that yet. I still have quite a few days. I haven't done that much this week. Well, last week I didn't get hardly any scrapbooking done because I was flaring too much to get a lot done. Had one day where I just slept almost all day, which sucks.
That does suck.
Well, and then I went to work. I'm like thinking about it now. I should have just taken last week, but anyway, it's okay. But yeah, so I think for me, it's just been making sure that I'm getting my photos edited. Like I started it, and then like halfway through the other week, I just like fell off the train. So I've been doing a lot of editing as I need certain things, which I don't like doing. I like to have quite a few of it, especially with December Daily and even Project Life. I feel like if each week you edit consistently throughout the week, then you just have those, 7 or 8 photos that you just print off for the week. And then I'll add a few more so that I have stuff to do 12 by 12s because I still want to do layouts. Like I don't want to do those. In fact, I'm working on a layout right now that was supposed to be done yesterday, but that's besides the point. So, and at first I was like, oh, I could just do it simple and just do layers and stuff. But then I was like, no, Hannah, you need to do mixed media because you haven't done mixed media in a while. So that takes a lot more time too. So I'm finding that's hard to balance. Well, and I don't have everything put away. I sent you a picture because I wanted to talk about this. And maybe this is a good place to transition into like our spaces and how our things for us. Because so I sent you a picture, and I'm gonna I put it in here of my scrap room. Okay, it is driving me nuts. I don't know if you've seen how messy that looks, but it is so messy. And it's starting to really get to me because I think that's partly why. Yeah, that's why I texted it to you.
Yeah, you texted it to me, and I was like, oh my God. Like, seriously, I was like, that is not Hannah's room. Like,
yeah.
I was like, this is so giving me anxiety.
Yeah, it is so bad. So, how is your space, though? Because I say that, and I'm calling you out only because you see my room. So, I'm only doing it because I love you. And this is a reminder that we got to clean off our desks and clean our rooms sometimes.
I think you would be proud of me, though, because I scrapbooked last weekend. Okay. And I think because I used my scrapbooking store kit, and so I just put the kit, like, I just put the papers on, but I didn't pile anything else on top of it. And the dogs ended up knocking over some, like, sequins that I had sitting out. No. And so we kind of cleaned up. Like, Kiana was really sweet. She was like, I was so worried, like, that you were going to be mad. And I was like, I'm not mad. Like, it was my fault. I left it out, like, I know the dogs like to jump up right next to my desk. And so, like, so I just kind of like shoved it all into like a container, but I still need to finish cleaning up that mess. But I was really proud that I didn't like pile a bunch of stuff on top of it. I should take a picture right after this.
Well,
I'll
I
go
was going
take
to
a
say after
picture.
this, take a picture so we can compare our spaces.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, you can see this area over here. There's like little dishes.
Yeah.
They're actually tins of hot cocoa from last year Christmas, and they're empty. So I was like, oh, I can put my Christmas die cuts in there. Well,
Oh,
the
that's a good
cat keeps
idea.
jumping up, and he's fat. So he keeps hitting, and for whatever reason, he really likes those Ellie Edward ones. There's not as much in the tin, and he's knocked that over last weekend, like a whole
Oh
bunch of
no.
times because I was trying to do some stuff at the desk, and he kept jumping up there, and he kept knocking it over, and so I totally get animals knocking stuff over.
Yes. Oh yes.
I guess that's what we get for letting it sit like that, right? So,
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
yeah. So, okay, with that, what goals have you had to like make your space better for this year, or like thoughts, I guess? It doesn't necessarily be big goals.
Well, like organizing, I really want to organize my space better because I do have a lot of stuff still in boxes that I haven't like organized into my space. And so I think I've got like 4 boxes that are just kind of stacked out there. So I think actually I was thinking this weekend I'm going to try to kind of like organize it better a little bit.
Yeah.
To create a little bit more organization.
Yeah, I think for me, I need to like organize the past kits and stuff better. I need to. I'm not sure if I need to like actually get some like craft container or like containers to just put stuff there so that I can stack them better, because right now I do have some of them in iris containers, but it's not really big enough for everything to close up and keep it on a shelf. So I think I have to find something a little bit more, which I don't really want to do because that's like more money
yeah, those are pricey.
But I think it would be better so that stuff is organized better. And then I just need to do a big cleanup, but I really don't want to clean too much up until I've gotten my December daily done, because a lot of it is just the December daily stuff being all out. But it's getting to me, so I don't know. I'm trying to pick it up a little bit better and then organize it so that I don't. And then I just need to finish it is really what it is. I need to just finish it. But now I'm starting to get that itch of doing the new stuff from the new year and getting away from December daily. So that's the crux of my problem, is that I like to scrapbook in the season. And I'm seeing that, and I'm like trying to fight it, and it's really hard because things because I can't do both, and I'm trying to. I mean, you can see I did mixed media earlier today, and so, but anyway, yeah. So I think that's my biggest frustration is like making those switches, but in a timely manner, but also knowing that certain stuff that I want to keep it out kind of, but it doesn't, I don't want to out. So, I mean, I'm lucky that I have space and I don't have to, like, I don't really share it now. The kids don't really, like, sometimes Sam will come and do schoolwork at my computer, but other than that, so, yeah. So I think that's the biggest thing for me. Yeah, so it's just really like finding storage that works. So, and I've never had that problem before, and so that's the frustrating part. But I also was using my stuff consistently, so I made it like go. I put it away, and I think that's part of the problem is not putting it away properly. So I got to just get better at that. Is having. Well, and it doesn't help having the store, so that adds everything. But anyway, what is one thing that you really enjoy? I think I wrote that down, that you really like so far about how your space is set up.
Well, at Christmas time we decided to bring like my printer and a desk because I had a desk that had my printer on it, and then I had my scrapbooking desk. So
Yeah.
we brought the printing desk into the bedroom, and also my, the cube shelves, like the
Yeah.
paper shelves. We brought those into my bedroom, and because when everything was out in the living room, it just became like a dumping ground for everything. So
Yeah.
we would just stick so much stuff, and then I would feel like crafting because there was so much to go through to get to my scrapbooking stuff.
Yeah.
So I like that I just have my desk out there in the living room. And if I need other supplies, like I can grab them as I need them.
Mm-hmm.
I do have some paper storage, like scraps and out in the living room, and I think I'm going to put a couple extra cubes living room just to organize some stuff, extra stuff that I have on my desk, so my desk out there isn't cluttered. But I do like having the separate space,
Mm-hmm.
so that makes it a little bit more. I my my house is smaller, and just having all of my scrapbooking stuff in one area was really hard.
Mm-hmm. I remember when I was in the living room,
Yeah.
in Hawaii, like I only had a small corner. So
Yeah,
really
it's so
it trains
crazy.
you to have to keep things organized in a functional
Yes.
way, though I will
Yes.
say. And actually I feel like in a lot of ways I was very functional. Of course I didn't have nearly as much stuff,
Yeah.
obviously. But I was creating a ton, so it wasn't
Oh
like
yeah.
so I found like a lot of the smaller like stupid drawers. Well, you
Mhm.
can see them all back here. Anyway, they're
Yeah.
there. And I had a lot of like papers in the 12 by 12 ones, and so I just like put the kit in there, and then I could pull it out and stuff,
Yeah.
and so and I think it in a space that small, it forces you to keep everything like organized and
Right.
in a like I said, in a functional way, but also it keeps you for like overbuying because you know you only have so much space. Like I feel like
Mhm.
having your own room, as nice as it is,
Yeah.
it's
Yep.
almost too much space because you overthink how much you actually can fit in there, or at least that's sometimes what I do.
Yeah.
Um and it's just well, and it doesn't help that like I have a lot of the kids school stuff in here and stuff, so it's like transitioning away from that because now most of their work is they don't need the books and stuff, so
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, so having that small space, I like that's one thing I liked. It made me have to keep using all of my stuff to the full
Mhm.
and to get it out, get to really have
Right.
that. Because if you
Yeah.
want new stuff, you have to use the old
You have
stuff.
to
So,
use it. Yep.
but life was easier back then. Scrapbook
Yeah.
time
Right.
again, so it was just a different
Yep.
season. I
Yep.
don't know
It
what it is
was.
with it's like 'cause having little kids. You always think, oh, that's a lot of work, but for whatever reason, I was able to be more productive doing both. Where now
Yeah.
they need a lot less from me, but I have a lot less time.
Yep.
So
Yep.
the fun
I
thing to
agree.
say, um uh okay, so what when you get to your space, then you actually are all primed up to do stuff. What do you always keep on your desk to help you be more productive? Like what kinds of things do you like to do there, have there in front of you?
I always have like my desk space is actually really cluttered right now, which is the reason why I want to spend some time organizing it so it can be a little bit more free. But a lot of
Mhm.
things that I have on my desk actually right now are things that I don't reach for a lot because I
Oh,
want to use them up.
okay.
Um,
Is
so
that like a
like,
that you're doing? Or
what was that?
is that like a newer thing that you're trying to do?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think how you used to do it.
Yeah, I used to keep my area really like clear. Like the
Mhm.
only thing I would have on my desk was like maybe like because there were those old, I think it was from Michael's. It's like a pink and green or like teal little organizer. You like can kind of pull it open a little bit and just grab things out. I can
Oh,
send you a picture of it, but I think I got that like 5, 6 years ago, maybe even longer, probably a lot longer than that, maybe 10 years ago. But I usually just have that on my desk, but now like I have like photos and I have like
yeah.
out like little albums. Like I have my wedding album up there because I want to work on my wedding album. Like
Hmm.
I'll send you a photo of my desk. It's really cluttered right now, which like I don't have a lot of stuff on top of it, but around my desk, it's
Mm.
like there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And so I kind of want to get all of that stuff organized so that my desk can be more free, like clean.
Hmm.
Because I kind of wonder if that's also the reason why I'm not creating a ton is because I just feel so overwhelmed with everything
Oh,
on
yeah.
my
I think
desk.
that plays a big part in how you create. And I know some people create more when they have stuff all over their desk, but
Yeah,
how I don't and I know we're all different. So I
we're all
should like
different.
it surprise me that I have to ask this question to myself because but I'm like, how do they do it? Because it
Yeah.
like my desk is like there is some clean stuff and I do
Yeah.
keep it like a good portion of it clean. But because I have all the Christmas stuff and I have some die
Yeah.
cuts from Vicky Booten that was in one of the kits. And then
Mhm.
I got pictures over there and baggies of stuff from old kits so that I can try to use them,
Yeah.
stuff. And it just, I like this year, I've let it pile up and it just drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. I need to have a better system. I don't, whether it's like some kind of little tote or something that I can put in underneath that has stuff from the kits. I think that's probably what I need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I like to have a small dish that I can put embellishments in because I tend to
Mhm.
grab from like one little thing and photos. I think that and I say supplies like glues and all that kind of stuff. My
Yeah.
state I like to have that all and I do have a
Oh
cabinet
yeah.
back there, but it's all messed up because I have stuff in it. So
Yeah.
so it's really just like redefining and just like
Mhm.
going back in, yeah, because
Yeah.
you can easily pile stuff around. I mean,
Oh
I
yeah.
have stuff piled around too because I have all my project life, which I probably need to reorganize that so I can just grab the stuff. Probably
Yeah.
just means I need to rearrange my scrap room a little bit
Yeah.
to fit so that that stuff I can easily put it away and I'm not going around because I have to go from here to here and I know it doesn't seem that long. It's like first
Yeah.
world problems. But for whatever reason, bringing it all the way over there, I just don't put it away properly, and then that area is a mess. And I mean, it's not as messy as it looks. I mean, it is. There's stuff on a chair and stuff, but that's all kit stuff. So it's not stuff that I'm using necessarily. It's just I was trying to keep it
Mm,
separate, right?
right.
Anyway, once again, it goes back to I have to pick up my store stuff and find a better way of doing it. Because yeah, oops. Okay. Stop. Oh, I don't like the new phone update. Don't
I
like it.
know.
Don't like
It's so
it. I don't like the
annoying.
clear thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have about 15 minutes if we wanna or whatever. So
Okay.
um because yeah, I was trying to think about like one of the things that I really like, and I just like that my room has space and I have the
Yeah.
ability to do what I want. So it's kind of an empty canvas. But I just need to
Mhm.
get better at making it how it needs to be. And I just don't think I'm in here enough, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I should have focused more on that last year, but I got distracted and started a business.
Oh, distractions.
Yeah, so I think my biggest thing that I'm working on is just finding a routine that um that helps it flow from getting prepared to, because I'm just not as prepared. So when I come sit down, it takes a while to get the juices flowing and stuff. And I want to do all the things. I also think that's part of it, is I want to do all the things, but I can only do one thing at a time. So then I feel like, oh, I'm neglecting December daily because I'm gonna start some Project Life. Like I started doing that. I also realized, like, one of the things that I think is gonna be to my not benefit is the fact that because I haven't done Project Life in a while and I really love layering and doing all that stuff, I'm finding that I'm spending way too long doing stuff, which is the short of it is it's not really that big of a deal because I'm enjoying it. But the thing is if I want to record it and make a process, I don't want it to take that long. And I want to feel like I've gotten use out of my time. And I spent an hour and a half and I did a few cards, So I think that's part of one of the things that I need to work on is how do I channel that creative side, but so that it's faster, because I feel like I'm just really slow now. So I'm not a big fan of that. I mean, I love what I'm doing and I like how it's turning out. It's just going way longer. So I don't know. I'm not really sure how to do that, except for I just need to get in my room more, because I feel like the more you create, the faster that you tend to get, because you can get a rhythm and stuff. So, and also, I think the hard part is I trying not to sit too long and stay in one space. And get up. And because I know I'm doing that, I'm like stopping myself from letting that flow happen probably more naturally. Of like, oh, I don't want to sit here for 3 hours all at one time. So old people problems. That really is just an old problem, is you can't sit for too long. So
unfortunately.
But anyway, so is there anything else that you want to add to the making our spaces work for us? And it's a new year, and to this conversation?
Not really. I think I've said everything. I guess just like, I don't know, the weekly creativity, like that keeps coming back to my mind, and just like I'm trying to get into the mindset of like editing photos is being creative. Well, like don't hold myself to such like you have to scrapbook every single week or every day, like it's okay to be creative in different ways. And I've started diamond painting, which is completely different than scrapbooking, but it's still like a new way to be creative. And it's like satisfying. So I'm like trying to be like, okay, I didn't get into my scrapbooking space, but I did do this other creative thing. And that counts.
Well, and it's also, I think along with that, it's like they're being the realistic is that you can't do everything. And so using a small amount of time to get prepared and get yourself in the mood to scrapbook, the more you're playing with your photos, the more you're doing these other things, it's going to give you ideas for when you sit down. It's just, doing it kindly to yourself, like you were saying, and being realistic with it. And then just being, I don't want to say okay, because that's not even like being happy for the time that you do get, right? Sometimes I think we focus so much on the negative parts of like, oh, I didn't get this done. I'm just so behind. We say the negative instead of saying the positive. And I think that this year, that's one thing I want to focus on, is saying the positive instead of like, oh, I can't do this. Oh, I got to spend this much time, looking through digital stuff so I can figure out what I want to print,
Right. Yeah.
Like I had the time to be able to do that, and that was something I could do, So yeah,
Right.
it's kind of changing that mindset, because I think sometimes we go negative instead of making things at a positive, because honestly, crafting is the positive part of our week, the positive part of our, routines and stuff, however it fits into your life. And I know I can't do stuff every day. There's certain days that I set aside for the family and my husband and stuff, and I know at the beginning I was saying that was one thing that I started doing, is creating that routine of like putting my phone down, present and stuff. And even that means like when we're watching movies, I don't play with my phone at all, because I want to be present and letting go of having to have every single moment like a picture for it.
Right.
And that's just been really helpful for me to not, because that's taken some of that pressure off. So
yeah.
Yep.
That's a good tip. Oh.
Yep, because I know for me, I think a lot of this is just putting to like the actions of doing these things that I've wanted to do, and just figuring out how do I fit it into what I was doing before in a natural way. So like for me, that's what my goal is to just do it as naturally as possible so that I can make it last. Because some of the things that I do want to do, like Project Life, it's a process, but I'm hoping that the whole process helps me figure out a different way of doing things that is more beneficial so that I can be creative. So, and it's really just about being intentional.
Yep.
Which I'm big on.
Yep.
Okay. So, do you have a tip other than be kind to yourself?
Nope. I think that's it.
That's it. Being kind. Yes. Being kind and being intentional. So that's going to be mine. Be intentional about those plans that you need to do to get yourself set up for being successful, because guess what? We're still only 3 weeks into the new year. So you have plenty of time. Right? Yep. It's like we want to be like,
yeah,
it's going so fast, but we have plenty of time to get to where we're going.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Anyway, it was fun chit-chatting with you today, Megan. I have no idea what we're going to talk about next week, but that's okay.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Something will come up and we'll be like, no, I got to talk about this. So
yeah, definitely.
But I hope that you're able to get something accomplished this weekend in your scrap room, and you feel rewarded.
Yeah. Oh, I will.
Okay. Thank you guys for joining us today. I also want to remind you guys to follow and like the episodes. It really does help the algorithm. And if you leave a comment or like some kind of emoji because you're not really sure what to put down, that also helps the algorithm. We actually had quite a bit of people listen into our last episode, a little bit more than.
Yay.
So that's super exciting. So I'm hoping to get our views up a little bit, just so that kind of helps spread the Crafty Maven, and tons of places to go and get crafty inspiration. So we want more of these kinds of channels, but YouTube won't do it if we don't do our part. Anyway, so that's my little spiel. And see you guys next week. Have a great scrap.
Bye.
Bye.